What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Tennessee Football Talk. It's been a while since Joey Aguilar was announced the starter for the Tennessee Volunteers in 2025, so I thought today I'd kind of look at the offensive depth chart after that announcement and make my predictions of what we're going to see week one when we trot out against Syracuse in just a little bit. Cannot believe that football season's finally here. The wandering through the wilderness is finally over. And of course, since I mentioned Joey Aguilar, we're going to start with that quarterback position. We all know he's QB1, the old guy of Appalachian State. And then you got Jake Merklinger, the four-star sophomore redshirt freshman. And then you got the five-star quarterback, George MacIntyre, who I have slotted right now as my QB3. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? And I said this right after it was announced. I said it in my video I made seconds after that I got the news on Twitter. I think Josh Heupel made the correct call with Joey Aguilar. I think he's the guy I would have chosen. I think he's probably the guy you would have chosen as well. And if you didn't, I would ask you why not when you see this. It just is going to come down to, for Josh Heupel, who's going to be able to run his offensive system best. A system that, might I add, is not very easy to run. A lot of post-snap and pre-snap reads on the quarterback's plate. Well, a guy who's played 41 games in college is going to be a lot better at that than a guy who's played 2. Definitely than a guy who's played 0. Now, I don't think Joey has the most arm talent. Okay, I don't think he can throw the ball the farthest out of those 3, but I do think Josh Heupel trusts him to run his offense. And when you can run his offense well, Hendon Hooker showed you really great things can happen. Additionally, and I think this is the most important thing from it, it was just time for the offense as a whole to focus together with one quarterback. It's just better for everyone involved, not just the quarterback himself. I'm talking wide receivers. I'm talking offensive line. I'm talking tight ends. I'm talking running backs. When you spend so much time in training camp wanting to make sure this quarterback has reps with ones, and this quarterback has reps with ones, and this guy has reps with ones, then those ones, wide receivers, offensive line, running back, they're not getting the same reps with the same guy over and over and over again. So at some point, you have to make a decision to get that guy reps with all the others, as many as he can, and to get the others as many reps as they can with that one guy. Just makes the whole team better, makes the quarterback better. Everyone benefits from it. You know what I've been benefiting from recently is how awesome you guys have been. I want to give a quick shout out to Vol Nation because we are the fastest channel in company history to hit 1,000 subs. And then we became the fastest channel in company history to hit 2,000. And then we became the fastest in company history to hit 3,000. I need 4,000 subs by August 26th to continue this streak. Okay, so it's up to you guys to keep hitting that subscribe button. It's 100% free to do so. And if you're already subscribed and you want something else to do, share it with a friend. Send it in your group text. Tweet it out on social media. Let's get all the people we can right here with Tennessee Football Talk. We talk QBs, let's talk running backs now. I have RB1, RB2, and RB3 on this list, but we all kind of know this is a running back group by committee. But I think it will go to Sean Bishop, Peyton Lewis, Star Thomas. But still, that doesn't change the approach going into this year, okay? Because you're having to replace a guy who was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, who had almost 1,500 yards on the ground, who broke the single-season record for rushing touchdowns for a Tennessee Volunteer with 2022. But I think the way that Josh Heupel and company are looking at this year, a little Billy Bean style, a little Moneyball style, you just got to make up D-Samp in the aggregate. You don't need one Sampson. But you could use 3 guys who all combine to be one, 2 guys who combine to be one. Again, you're not going to get Dylan Sampson out of these guys. Dylan Sampson was a true talent. I think of the 3, probably Deshaun Bishop is the most comparable to him. But I've got trust in Heupel in this position, in the running back room. I think they're always going to have success in this offense. And you've seen it in the last 3 seasons. Jalen Wright, 2 really great years back-to-back. Obviously, Dylan Sampson last year. And so I have no reason whatsoever to not have faith in Deshaun Bishop, Peyton Lewis, and Star Thomas as a trio. I can't wait for their roles to be carved out as the season goes on. Who's the every down back? Who's the third down back? Who's the goal line back? I'm excited to see it. But I just think this group as a whole we should still have confidence in, even though Dylan Sampson's not in that unit. Who do you think leads the Vols in rushing this year? It's a hard question. I feel like it's probably going to be Deshaun Bishop, and I think most of the comment section is going to agree with me. But regardless, you let me know where you stand in the comment section down below. Let's talk wide receivers now. We're going to go X, Z, and Y. As we know, Z receivers are more the slot, X and Y are the outside. Y usually goes to the weak side of the field. Mike Matthews, Travis Smith Jr., and Trey Weary, that's your 3 deep at X. Chris Brazzell, Rodarius Jackson, Joaquin Dodson, that's your 3 deep at Z. Braylon Staley, Boot Carter, and Amari Jefferson, that is your 3 deep at Y. And I'm going to be real with you, this might be the group that scares me the most. And if you ask any of my best friends, we got a group chat called True VFLs. And I even said last year that the wide receiver position really, really scared me. And you've seen a lot of people leave since last year's wide receiver group. Now you're going to get a new year out of Mike Matthews. He's going to be another year older. But you also have to look at that roster and say there's only one receiver in the 2 deep that has had 2 or more years in college, and that's Chris Brazzell. Everybody else is unbelievably young. Now, that's a good thing for the future, but guess what? The Vols play right now. But it's going to be all up to Mike Matthews, in my opinion, to be the undoubted wide receiver 1 in this room. There's a reason he was a 5-star. There was a reason he's so heavily recruited. Now, he didn't get utilized a ton in 2024. Only 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. I expect that to change. I expect that to change in a really big way. They have a lot to prove, like a ton to prove, but I just feel like they can do it. I've got a lot of hope. I've got a lot of promise for a lot of those guys. Travis Smith Jr., I'm so pumped to see. So pumped to see a true, big, possession, jump ball type receiver in this offense. I don't think we've had that yet. Not since Josh Heupel's been here. And then for a guy like Boot Carter to get some wrinkles in this offense. I'm not saying he's the next Travis Hunter, but this dude's an athletic freak. And I think he's going to shock a lot of people with what he's able to do on the offensive side of the football. There's a lot of things to like, but there's still a lot of things that need to be proven. Make sure, if you guys have not yet, that you give me a follow on Twitter or on X. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8. I put the link to my Twitter in the comments and description of today's video, so all you got to do is click it and then follow. I'm currently sitting at 1.1 thousand followers. My next goal is to get to 1.2. Basically, what I need is a ton of Vol fans. First 5 to follow, get a follow back, though, okay? Hit me up for daily coverage of your Tennessee Volunteers. I'm on Twitter a lot more than I'm on YouTube, so find me at Joey Petersen 8. Let's talk tight ends now, okay? Last skill position. Miles Kitselman will be your tight end 1. Ethan Davis will be your tight end 2. And then Deshaun Brame will be your tight end 3, even though he is a true freshman. This might be my most confident group on the offensive side of the football. In fact, I don't know if there's any mites about it. There's a lot to love about this group. You got the leadership aspect of Kitselman. He's also kind of a do-it-all kind of receiver. Ethan Davis has that big playability. He might be the most athletic one in the group. And then Deshaun Brame is out here absolutely impressing everybody who looks at him, including Josh Heupel. His growth during the summer, Heupel says, the game has slowed down for him just in the course of training camp. He's made some plays and been really good out in space and should be a big part of what we do this fall. And I don't think a lot of people expected that. Okay, they were excited about Brame when he committed. They were excited about Brame when he came to Knoxville, but I don't think they expected him to come in year 1 have an impact. And I believe Coach when he says that, because I know he said that about tight ends before, but I don't think he's ever had less wide receivers than he does this year. And so Brame is a guy who I could genuinely see get a lot of targets. And last, let's talk about the big boys up front. The offensive line, Lance Hurd is your left tackle. Wendell Moe is your left guard. Of course, a transfer as well as Sam Pendleton. At right guard, you got Jesse Perry. And that right tackle, you got true freshman 5-star offensive tackle David Sanders. A ton, and I mean a ton, hinges on these 5. We all know that this sport is won in the trenches, in the front, on defensive and offensive sides of the football. And I think you saw that in that game against Ohio State in the playoffs. Nico, even though he panicked a lot and when Nico tended to panic, he'd get out of this stance, kind of get in here, and you're in no position to throw a football at that point. He did panic a lot, but he also did not have a ton of time. And that's how Ohio State ended up dominating us. In the line of scrimmage, and of course with their skill position players out wide on the offensive side of the ball. There's just a lot of questions that if they get answered, and if they get answered in a positive way, the Vols might have a pretty good group. Will Hurd improve from last year? You see a lot of good. You also see a lot of bad from time to time, or at least you did last year. Who remembers that Arkansas game? Absolutely abysmal performance from Lance Hurd and company. What about David Sanders? Kid's 18 years old. Will he be able to step in week 3, looking across a guy at Georgia who's going to be playing in the NFL in a year? Will he be able to protect Joey Aguilar? Will he be able to make that jump from blocking guys who are 16, 17 years old to blocking guys who are 21 or 22? That's going to be a massive question. The good news is he's taken it into his own hands. Absolutely bulked up. Fox Sports Knoxville tweeted this out when training camp originally started. Bulked up from 270 pounds to 305 pounds since January. There was already a lot of excitement, but everybody knew he needed to get a little bit bigger, and he has so far. If they are an above-average unit, the offensive line, this team can and will score points. I believe they've got a game manager of a quarterback who's able to make any throw on the field. I think they've got an awesome running back group that I believe in Josh Heupel can make anything that happen in his system. The wide receivers, there's going to be some guys that have to step up, but there's a lot of 4-star, 5-star blue-chip talent, and then we all know how I feel about the tight end room. If the offensive line can give Joey time, create running lanes for these running backs, this offense can get back to doing what we're used to seeing them doing, and that's putting up touchdowns. Take a guess for me. Where will the Vols rank offensively among the SEC in 2025? Reminders, there's 16 teams. Where do you think they sit? Are they top 5, top 8, top 10? You let me know in the comment section down below. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you got me on social media. You can find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram at Joey Petersen 8 on both of those. Make sure you get me on Twitter, talking a lot of Vols there. More than anything, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Join us for daily coverage of your Vols right here on Tennessee Football Talk.